You may be seated. Students, colleagues, parents, and friends here in this arena and throughout our campus watching on live streaming video, I'm happy to say, welcome to this historic occasion, the 2014 Wofford College Commencement. And a special welcome to you, the members of the class of 1964, who have returned today to renew your lifelong dedication to Wofford and to usher our newest alumni into the wider world where you yourselves have labored so long and so successfully. We'll begin with our Wofford chaplain and Perkins Prothro Professor of Religion, the Reverend Ron Robinson, who will offer the invocation. After the invocation, I ask that you remain standing as Professor Gary McCraw leads us in Wofford's traditional commencement hymn, "From All That Dwell Below the Skies." Reverend Robinson.
Let us pray. O God of truth and knowledge, by your wisdom, we are taught the way and the truth. We give thanks for Wofford College, for its faculty and staff, its alumni and students. We're grateful for what this college has meant to so many across the years. Bless, we pray, this Wofford College class of 2014, who have worked and played and forged deep bonds in this place. We remember now in silence Randall Heffron, who began the journey with us and left us too soon. We thank you for those who taught and worked beside the class of 2014 and all who supported them along the way. Walk with them as they move forward in life. Take away their anxiety and confusion of purpose, strengthen their talents and skills, instill in them a confidence in the future. May their energies be gathered up and used for the good of all people. In your holy name we pray, amen.
From Please be seated. Thank you. I've attended many commencements during my career in higher education, but have been asked only once to offer wisdom to new graduates, today at the conclusion of my freshman year at Wofford College. As seniors, you may not think this freshman standing here knows very much. That's understandable, and it may very well be true. My wife tells me I know little about popular culture, and she is right. So I can't offer up all those fabulous references that the Reverend Ron Robinson did yesterday. Unless we're talking about, say, the Rolling Stones, The Who, Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Not bad, not bad. But our new graduates-to-be are probably too young to know any of those groups, and so I'll go straight to my mock talk. Commencement addresses convey the story of one's life and experience, drawing lessons for you, emphasizing the necessity of hard work, good deeds, respect from others, and service to humanity. You hear about how difficult and challenging life can be, the problems we as a society confront in a rapidly changing world. These are all good and worthy lessons, otherwise they would not be recurring themes in commencement addresses over the years. What I'd like to do, though, since I'm a political scientist and I have your attention for a few moments, is offer some thoughts on things like how we solve problems with market solutions, the nature of society and community, and the role of citizenship and responsibility. I'll toss in there along the way a brief personal vignette before we send you on your way. And I'll do that in a very brief period of time so we can give you your degrees. And for my faculty colleagues, or at least some of them, there will be a few lists, and so if you're keeping track, please get your pen out. I recently published a book by Harvard political philosopher Michael Sandel, What Money Can't Buy: The Moral Limits of Markets, is a wide-ranging and provocative text touching on crucial themes that reflect a deep transformation in society. It touches on the constitution of a good life and the meaning and responsibility of citizenship. Sandel writes that the most fateful change of the past several decades was the reach of markets and of market values into spheres of life traditionally governed by non-market norms. To contend with this condition, he argues, we need to do more than inveigh against greed. We need to have a public debate about where markets belong and where they don't belong. He continues, and I quote, "Some of the good things in life are degraded if turned into commodities. So to decide where the market belongs and where it should be kept at a distance, we have to decide how to value the goods in question: health, education, family life, nature, art, civic duties, and so on. These are moral and political questions, not merely economic ones." Unquote. To me, these lines are striking, not because of a judgment about the market. That's not my point, and in fact, I make no judgment about the costs and benefits of a market as a way to solve our problems. Rather, there are 2 points here that you should take with you. One relating to the nature of questions we or you will confront. The other is an observation that follows about our or your responsibility. In the first instance, let us reflect on the range of issues circulating in society at any given time. There's poverty, development, environmental quality, of course, health and wellness, education at all levels, elder and child welfare and care, the arts, immigration, unemployment, family planning. The tendency to rely on market solutions for many of these matters reflects a growing belief in the role of markets to provide a just outcome. But we would do well to ask ourselves if issues require something more than an assumption of an objective resolution. The mere fact of an outcome of an exchange does not necessarily impart a just solution in the absence of reasoned and informed debate. This debate must occur on the merits of the issue and the range of outcomes. Thus, informed perspective is an essential prerequisite to any claim that an outcome is just, even if then the market may not be substitutable or suitable, for resolving some of the most pressing issues we face in society. How do we determine the meaning and value of arts in our community? Is carving out a sphere for faith in society truly an objective economic decision? What criteria do we have available to assess the level and quality of care we want to provide for children and our elderly? And if education is purely a matter of economics, then can we truly be certain that this channel to realize the American dream will be accessible to all of our children from preschool through college? Again, I'm not interested in suggesting to you any particular outcome or making a judgment on the market, only the fact that many of these issues are not well suited to market solutions. They require us, instead, to examine the substance and ethical implications of our decisions. They are a statement on the nature of community we desire, and we should approach them as such. Thus approached, the argument draws to us a judgment about the responsibility of individuals, you, to assume an active and engaged role in the life of the communities in which you, live and work. It may well be the case that to evade that responsibility is to give over to various forces and institutions the capacity to define the nature and value of the public and private spheres in our lives. But here's the thing. When we pass a certain point in time, having given over that responsibility and capacity, these forces and institutions acquire a character of permanence and inevitability that renders your skepticism, your attempt to reform, or even challenge beyond your comprehension. In effect, the practice and capacity of citizenship itself becomes bounded by limits assumed rather than tested. Citizenship, in other words, loses its content and substance, becoming only a symbol of membership rather than the fullness of participation and obligation it is intended to demand of us and you. This is no small point, for we often take for granted that notion of citizenship. Only a couple of weeks ago, my daughter and I stood next to my wife as she became a naturalized American citizen after having been a permanent resident since 1983. As the ceremony proceeded and she stated the oath, I was not only overwhelmed with great emotion, but as a second-generation American, I began to reflect at that moment and in a most focused manner on the flag and the values it stood for. We are a country defined by values, by a range of freedoms unparalleled on this earth. But the protection of those freedoms, not from outsiders, but from ourselves, is what we must most be aware of. No matter the ideological, religious, ethnic, gender, economic, or racial background or practice, a nation, or any nation, founded on the preservation of values of access and opportunity and voice, no matter whether we agree or disagree with what one does, believes, or practices, so long as they do no harm to others, that nation is a nation that will endure. But that does not come about merely by happenstance. Were that the case, our experiment would be commonplace around the world. Instead, this demands a level of responsible citizenship by you that will ensure those freedoms remain the fabric and foundation of a vibrant society. And given the dramatic demographic, social, and cultural transformations in our country over the coming decade and beyond, your participation is more vital and necessary than ever before. And so let me suggest to you that as you are leaving Wofford, a much different person than when you arrived. This is a point of the educational experience we're celebrating today to prepare you for a life of learning, leadership, and engagement in your community and beyond. I urge you, individually and collectively, to understand that at any given time, what appears to be the sensibility and reasonableness of the moment, the way things are, is deserving of your critical scrutiny. The obligation inherent in the education you've received is to assume the responsibility to apply the knowledge, creativity, and imagination revealed, discovered, and nurtured on this wonderful campus over the past 4 years to engage actively and directly the very questions about the value and nature of community raised. For by doing so, you exercise not only the necessary power and obligation of citizenship, but you also exercise the capacity to define the constitution and meaning of a good life, and thereby you take into your own hands the remaking of your world. And so to the class of 2014, congratulations to you all on your accomplishment. Some simple pieces of advice: go forth from this ground with the wisdom to embrace the serendipitous circumstance, the wisdom to step back and take stock of life and your place in it, and the wisdom to savor the moments that you will experience throughout your life. Thank you and congratulations. And now to the presentation of awards and degrees. Mr. J. Harold Chandler, Chairman of the Wofford College Board of Trustees, Dr. David Wood, Provost, and Jennifer Allison, College Registrar, will now assist me in presenting the awards and degrees. A traditional gift of the Bible that is signed by many faculty and staff is available on stage as well. The first award is the Sullivan Awards. Wofford College is one of a number of colleges and universities that have been authorized by the New York Southern Society to convey annually the Algernon Sidney Sullivan and Mary Mildred Sullivan Awards. This Southern couple went to New York during the mid-19th century and built careers that were distinguished in every way. They became symbols of the highest standards of humanity and achievement, and these awards were established by their friends in tribute to their nobility and character. Each year, confidential college committees choose 2 recipients for each award. One of the recipients of each award must be a student, the other a non-student but a person with some interest or association with the college. The criteria for the awards are specified as follows. In the selection of recipients, nothing is to be considered except the possession of such characteristics of heart and mind and conduct as evince a spirit of love for and helpfulness to other men and women. We will recognize the non-student recipients first, so I'll ask the student marshals to escort to the podium as the 2014 Mary Mildred Sullivan Award recipient, Mrs. Paula B. Baker, and as the 2014 Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award recipient, Mr. Kurt McPhail. For students, faculty, and staff of Wofford College have no more passionate advocate than Mrs. Paula Baker, who for the last 12 years has served as a member of the Wofford Board of Trustees and for 10 of those years chaired the board's Committee on Student Life. A member of one of Spartanburg's most historically significant families, Mrs. Baker continues to serve her beloved hometown, where she has been instrumental but largely unsung as a leader of the arts, the Hub City and Hubbub movements, and she was part of the group that founded our Mobile Meals program and as an elder in the First Presbyterian Church. Congratulations to Paula. Today marks a full circle of sorts for Paul Curtis McPhail, who stood on this stage in 1996 as a graduating senior recipient of the Sullivan Award. Kurt's interest in improving our community, environment, society, and the world in general continues as he serves as the president of Green Lab Strategies and project manager for the Northside Initiative, an important community partner of Wofford College. This historic initiative, termed Spartanburg's most ambitious redevelopment ever, is transforming the area into a high-quality, mixed-income, mixed-use neighborhood that will be home to exceptional education, healthcare, social service, and employment opportunities. Kurt is also a leader in Global Bike, a nonprofit connecting people around the world to resources with bicycles. Congratulations to Kurt. Next, I ask that the student marshals escort this year's Mary Mildred Sullivan and Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award recipients from the senior class. Will you please escort Ms. Laura Catherine Gamble and Mr. Philip Jervy Roper. Congratulations to them all. Next, I'm honored to I'm not going to do this, I'm telling you now. I'm honored to present the Philip Covington Award. Large universities serve their constituencies in many significant ways, but Wofford College devotes all of its resources to a single undertaking, the education of undergraduate students. This year, for the 8th time, I'm pleased to announce the Philip Covington Award for Excellence in the Teaching of the Humanities and Social Sciences. Named after a beloved longtime professor and academic dean, this recognition carries with it a $15,000 award allocated over a period of 3 years and designed specifically to further opportunities for professional development. It is with pride and pleasure that I announce the bestowal of the 2014 Philip Covington Award for Excellence in Teaching of the Humanities and Social Sciences to Dr. Carol Wilson. Will one of the marshals please escort Dr. Wilson? This year, for the 10th time, I'm pleased to announce the Roger Millikan Award for Excellence in the Teaching of Science. The recipient, chosen each year by a committee of scientists and businessmen from outside the college, will receive an award of $50,000 allocated over a decade and designed specifically to provide further opportunities for professional development. So far as I know, there's no teaching award like this anywhere in the academic world. But then it was Mr. Millikan's expectation that nowhere else in the world will such teachers be found. And it is with great satisfaction that I can announce that once again we have confirmed that expectation. The 2014 recipient of the Roger Millikan Award for Excellence in the Teaching of Science is Dr. Ann Katja. Of great significance at a college like ours is the departure of colleagues who have shared our labors on campus and in the classroom for many years. I now call on Provost Wood to recognize one such retiring colleague.
Will Mr. Ibrahim Hanif please escort Dean of the Library, Oakley Coburn, to the platform? This year concludes 34 years of service at Wofford for Dean Coburn, an association that began with a 4-year stint in 1972 as circulation librarian and later resumed when he returned to serve as head of the library in 1984. He was named Dean of the Library in 1990. Oakley Coburn is known far and wide, particularly in the state of South Carolina, as the leader among academic librarians at private institutions. His tireless work has resulted in substantial legislative support for academic libraries, in the creation of significant cooperative agreements among and between libraries, and in a genuinely transformative technological leap in access to resources for Wofford students who now have the world of digitized books and documents literally at their fingertips. Oakley Coburn also played a major role in another vital area of our college, through his tireless planning, which constantly exhibited his passion for all things related to cultural arts. He has enriched our campus with a steady array of art exhibits, concerts, performances, lectures, recitals, and more. Dean Coburn has led our efforts to promote, encourage, and nurture these important activities. Also, Wofford's collection of important art and artifacts has grown dramatically under his curatorial leadership. Dean Oakley Coburn, it is a privilege for me to announce to all assembled that on May 13, 2014, the Wofford Board of Trustees voted unanimously to bestow upon you the high honor of the title Dean of the Library Emeritus. Congratulations.
It is now this college's great honor to hold up for the admiration of all persons of character and achievement for awarding of honorary degrees. I call again on Provost Wood for these presentations.
Will faculty sponsor Dr. Alliston Reed please escort Charles Edward Coffey to the platform? The work of Dr. Charles Edward Coffey is a shining example of the fulfillment of our mission as a liberal arts college, a mission that calls us to do well in our chosen profession while also doing good in the world. Dr. Coffey left Little River, South Carolina, and enrolled at Wofford in 1970. Little did he or anyone know at the time what a remarkable professional career was on the horizon. As a psychology major, he was elected to Phi Beta Kappa and was chosen as Wofford's 5th Rhodes Scholar in 1974, where he attended St. John's College, Oxford University, earning degrees in psychology, philosophy, and physiology. He subsequently enrolled at Duke University School of Medicine, where he earned the MD degree, completed a medical internship, and completed residencies in both neurology and psychiatry. Our honoree then joined the Duke Medical Faculty in 1984, where he developed highly successful programs in neuropsychiatry, brain imaging, and others. In 1990, Dr. Coffey joined the Allegheny University of Health Sciences before being recruited in 1996 to the Henry Ford Health System in Detroit, where he today serves as Vice President and CEO of Behavioral Health Services. He holds the Kathleen and Earl Ward Chair of Psychiatry at Henry Ford Hospital. Dr. Coffey is also Professor of Psychiatry and Neurology at Wayne State University School of Medicine. The Henry Ford Health System says that, quote, Dr. Coffey is an accomplished physician and award-winning healthcare executive, recognized for leading high-quality, financially successful, academically based systems of integrated healthcare. Dr. Coffey's innovative work on perfect depression care has been widely cited as a model for healthcare transformation. He's been honored with the Joint Commission's 2006 Codman Award, the American Psychiatric Association's 2006 Gold Achievement Award, and the 2011 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, and by his appointment to the National Action Alliance for Suicide Prevention in 2011. He has also made important contributions to the field of neuropsychiatry, mood disorder, and brain aging, and he serves on the editorial boards of several journals. Dr. Coffey has authored or co-authored numerous publications and articles, and is a fellow and former president of the American Neuropsychiatric Association. Dr. Charles Edward Coffey, for the extraordinary leadership you have provided our nation in the field of medicine and healthcare, for enhancing the name of Wofford College through your remarkable accomplishments, for the good you have done for your fellow man, for your devotion to family, friends, and our college. We salute you and we thank you. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I present to you Dr. Charles Edward Coffey so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Science.
Dr. Charles Edward Coffey, in recognition of your good character and attainments and on behalf of the faculty and trustees of Wofford College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science. Congratulations.
Faculty sponsor, Professor Linda Powers, please escort Reverend Susan Thurston Henry Crow to the platform. Born in Asheville, North Carolina, raised and educated in Greenville, South Carolina, Susan Thurston Henry Crow graduated from Winthrop University in 1973 and went on to earn the Master of Divinity from the Candler School of Theology at Emory University. She was fully ordained and admitted to the full connection of the South Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church in 1977. It was indeed a most significant ordination, as she was one of the first in a group of women to be ordained in the United Methodist Church in South Carolina. Her impact on the United Methodist Church in the state of South Carolina is well documented, as she has been an influential force for positive change. Such influence spread well beyond our state's borders, as she rose through the ranks of the church to the role of General Secretary of the United Methodist Board of Church and Society, and thereby led the church's outreach and witness ministries in the area of social justice. Prior to such prominence on a national level, Reverend Henry Crow served several local pastorates and assisted in campus ministry efforts at 2 universities before joining the staff of our South Carolina Conference in 1985. In 1991, she was recruited to Emory University, where she became university chaplain and later Dean of the Chapel and Religious Life, a position she still holds and from which she will retire in the next year. Reverend Henry Crow is a widely recognized leader in church-college relations and was awarded the Chaplain of the Year Award in 2000 by the United Methodist Foundation. She was named as one of 175, quote, makers of history, end quote, in the 2011 Emory University 175th anniversary celebration. Our honoree has held positions of importance throughout the national church, has served on the Board of Trustees of 3 colleges, and has no doubt been one of the most influential and respected persons ever to come out of the South Carolina Conference. Reverend Susan Thurston Henry Crow, for your remarkable commitment to higher education in the Methodist tradition of liberal learning, for your selfless and tireless work in higher education in the church, for your commitment to improve the world through your life and your life's work. We salute you and we thank you. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I present to you Reverend Susan Thurston Henry Crow so that you may confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Divinity.
Reverend Susan Thurston Henry Crow, in recognition of your good character and attainments, and on behalf of the faculty and trustees of Wofford College, I now confer upon you the Doctor of Divinity. Thank you.
I ask Dr. Dennis Wiseman to escort Dr. George Dennis Koo to the platform. George Dennis Koo is Chancellor's Professor of Higher Education Emeritus at Indiana University, Bloomington, and Adjunct Professor of Education Policy at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. He received the BA from Luther College, the MS from St. Cloud State University, and the PhD from the University of Iowa. Dr. Koo was the founding director of the Indiana University Center for Post-Secondary Research and the National Survey of Student Engagement, also known as NSSE. He also served as the founding director of the Strategic National Arts Alumni Project, the first ever in-depth look at the factors that help or hinder careers of graduates of arts-intensive training high schools and post-secondary institutions. He currently directs and is co-principal investigator the National Institute for Learning Outcomes Assessment at the University of Illinois and Indiana University. At Indiana, he served as chairperson of the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies in the 1980s and has served in a variety of other higher administrative capacities within higher education. Our honoree has more than 350 publications to his credit and has made several hundred presentations on topics related to institutional improvement, college student engagement, assessment strategies, and campus cultures. In addition, he's been a consultant to close to 400 institutions of higher education and educational agencies in the United States and around the world. A short listing of a few of his many, many awards includes awards from the American Educational Research Association, the Council of Independent Colleges, and the National Center on Public Policy and Higher Education. In addition, he received the Distinguished Alumni Award from the University of Iowa and several Teaching Excellence Award recognitions from Indiana University, including the prestigious Tracy Sonburn Award for his distinguished record of scholarship and teaching. Dr. George D. Koo, for extraordinary service to all of higher education, for efforts leading to genuine improvement in quality across our land, for developing innovative and effective instruments of assessment that have benefited all of higher education, for serving with distinction as a true model of the teacher-scholar. We salute you and we thank you. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, I present to you Dr. George Dennis Koo, so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Humanities.
Dr. George Dennis Koo, in recognition of your good character and attainments, and on behalf of the faculty and the trustees of Wofford College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humanities. Congratulations. To all our honorary degree recipients, thank you for your good deeds and service to your profession and community. Provost Wood will now announce the 2014 honor graduates and present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees. This graduation exercise also includes those who completed their work in February of 2014 and some who will complete their program of study during the next few months. There will be a few degrees awarded in absentia. Provost Wood.
Will the junior marshals please escort Catherine Lee Kelly to the stage? You had on a black robe, they couldn't find you. Just stand up. The honored graduate at Wofford must not only be very intelligent, she or he must also be disciplined and committed to working hard each and every day. Such is the nature of the academic enterprise at a Phi Beta Kappa National Liberal Arts institution. This year's honor graduate earned a perfect 4.0 grade point average over her entire career at Wofford and was inducted into Phi Beta Kappa. She is an English major with a minor in history. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the 2014 honor graduate at Wofford College, Catherine Lee Kelly. And now I ask all the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and the degree of Bachelor of Science to please stand. Mr. President, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts have been duly instructed and examined by the faculty and been found worthy. On behalf of the faculty, I present them to you for the conferring of their appropriate degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of South Carolina, and upon the completion of all graduation requirements, with the recommendation of the faculty and the approval of the Board of Trustees of Wofford College, I confer upon each of you, as appropriate to your course of study, the degree of Bachelor of Arts and/or Bachelor of Science. Congratulations.
Will the candidates for the degree please come forward individually to receive their diplomas, starting with the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Art. As is tradition at Wofford, I ask the audience to withhold expressions of congratulations until the entire group has been recognized individually. Sarah Courtney Affleck. Mark Stephen Unruh, Jr. Anna Pauline Alexander. Masuma Lukman Ali Muhammad, magna cum laude. Scott McFadden Anderson, Jr. Jeffrey Scott Ashley. Andrew James Badalamenti. Olin Wayne Ballantyne III in absentia. David Wood Banks, Jr. in absentia. Joseph McCarroll Banks. Lyndall Reagan Barber. John Gunst Barnett. David Sterling Bass. James Erickson Bassett. William Hubbard Battle, in absentia. Sharquavis Levon Bell. Daniel McCormick Bennett. Daniel McCormick Bennett, in absentia. Miranda Alexandria Blake. David Malone Blum, magna cum laude. Casey Lee Bolton. Jacob Dillon Booth. Davidson Sinclair Boswell. Emily Nicole Bugas. Jonathan Andrew Boyd. Benjamin Scott Boyles, magna cum laude. Julia Ann Bradshaw. Benjamin Davis Bramall. Chandler Maxwell Brazil. Eric Joseph Brink. Trenton Ray Brock, cum laude. Robert Huxley Brown. Taylor Kane Brown. Brittany Alexandra Bryan, cum laude. Maureen Jessica Buff. Margaret O'Keefe Burke. Haley Francis Burton. Jessica Logan Campbell. Bruce Cameron Cann, Jr. William Christopher Cannon. Stephen Christian Tyler Cantrell, cum laude, in absentia. Robert Shangji Carl. Caroline Elizabeth Carmody. William James Farr Carstarphin, Jr. Sarah Elizabeth Carter, summa cum laude. Thomas Perry Case. Adam Michael Christensen. John Morgan Clark, cum laude. Emily Elizabeth Coward, in absentia. Kayla Ray Coca, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Cochran. Kimberly Rose Cone, cum laude. Carlin Walsh Connolly, magna cum laude. William Cyrus Corbett. Anne Marie Kovar. Cameron McNair Crawford. Sheree DeRay. Joshua Wayne Davis in absentia. Callie Danielle Davis. Alexandria Victoria Dawson. Hannah Elizabeth Deans. Michael Reed DiCarlo, cum laude. Kusbu Devang Desai. James Randall Detter. Eleni Connolly Demetra Dimaduris. Magna cum laude. Leverett Anderson Diggs, in absentia. Eric Anthony Eck, magna cum laude. Kayla Elizabeth Eddy. Peter Jeremiah Elbum, magna cum laude. Brian Lawrence Elgert, cum laude. Alexander Salem Elias. Mary Courtney Faulkner, cum laude. Peter Gavin Fawcett, Jr. James Luke Feisel. Drew Patrick Fitzmaurice, in absentia. Elizabeth Dowling Foster. Margot Marie Foster. Matthew Paul Frangello. Erin Nicole Frost, in absentia. James Boyce Garland III. Farah Deanne Garner. Jessica Giovanni. Marvin Antonio Goodwin II. Alan Page Gore. Kirsten Michelle Grady, summa cum laude, in absentia. William Henry Granger III. Robert Michael Green, magna cum laude. Tamiko Zamir Gregory, in absentia. Leslie Hamilton Griffin, cum laude. Benjamin Alexander Haygood. Jennifer Allen Harlan, magna cum laude. Michael Cabin Harp. Stephen Michael Harris. Matthew Russell Heiser, cum laude. Alexandria Caroline Hendricks, cum laude. Thomas Chester Hildebrand III. Megan Chessie Holmes. Jeremy Anthony Holt. Joshua Stephen Holt. Samantha Kristen Hughes. Joshua Barrington Hyman, cum laude. Louisa Rhodes Jacobs. William Tyrell Jemison. Donovan Deontay Johnson. Christopher Mark Joy, Jr., cum laude. Matthew James Casco, magna cum laude. Jordan Babb K., cum laude. Emma Catherine Kellum, cum laude. Catherine Lee Kelly, summa cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Kilpatrick, cum laude. Emily Grace Kubel. Evelyn Ann Keighton, cum laude. Robert Gregory Lautner, cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Lavin, cum laude. Chelsea Dale Lawrence. James Marion Lawson, cum laude. Stuart Haverstock Lee. Atlee Jennings Lennis, cum laude. Robert Harrison Levin, cum laude. Laura Catherine Levy, cum laude. Yachin Lee, summa cum laude, in absentia. George Thomas Ligon II, magna cum laude. Amanda Catherine Ligori, magna cum laude. Benjamin Hunter Limbaugh. Othelia Charlotte Lindquist. Alexander Crossley Long. Jonathan Kyle Louder, cum laude. Caleb Willis Lucas, in absentia. Upendo William McCauley. Jeffrey Hobbs Maker, cum laude. Connor Denton Malloy. Joshua Thomas Mangan. Grayson Charles Mann, cum laude, in absentia. Harrison Paul Marley. James Perry Martin. Carol Allen McAfee. Michael Deonta McCrimmon. Alice Louise Sarah McDonald. Stuart Gordon McGugan. Brent Edward McKenzie. Cameron Hales McQueen. Andrew Brian Memmott, cum laude. Benjamin Edward Miller, Jr. Benjamin Hardy Miller II. Elizabeth Margaret Miller. Seraphin Michael Milan. Dennis Wessis Moore. Logan Mackenzie Morris. Regan Ann Murphy. Brandon O'Neill Neighbors. Samuel Clyde Northrop. William Farley O'Brien. Stephen Ortega in absentia. William Joseph Padula, summa cum laude. James William Palanica, summa cum laude. George Jackson Perkovic, cum laude. Ryan Dale Petrie. William Walter Farr III. Mallory Forrester Pindar. Megan Montgomery Polson. Jean Porter Price. Anna Lassane Pritchard, magna cum laude. Benjamin Pewter. Cynthia Ann Redding, cum laude. Casey Logan Redfern. Lucy Caitlin Reeser. Rodrigo Alexander Reyes. Thomas Andrew Rife, Jr., cum laude. David Jacob Roberts, summa cum laude. Martha Dabney Sampson. Mary Catherine Schrantz, summa cum laude. James Campbell Schultz, cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Seabrook, cum laude. Jameson Mansfield Seifert. Srimankan Selva Kumar, summa cum laude. Michael James Sheffey, Jr. Matthew Edward Shemansky. Kane Carter Sherrill, magna cum laude. Alexander James Silverman, summa cum laude. Michael Aaron Silverman. Jared Matthew Singleton, in absentia. Eris Brazil Smith II. Anastasia Elizabeth Smith. Chelsea Jeanette Smith, cum laude. David Vanoy Smith III. Helen Hardison Smith. Tyler Gray Smith. Charles Robert Spencer IV. Saquon Jermaine Stanley, in absentia. Alexander Reese Starnes. Lillian Scott Stevenson. Laura Peace Stokes. Jessica Elaine Strong, in absentia. Michelle Lynn Strickland. Stephen McClellan Stubley. Robert Willis Sudrith, Jr. Larry Christopher Summers. Annette Calhoun Taylor. Mitchell Alexander Teal. Rebecca Lynn Thatcher. Travis Denzel Thomas. Charles Hartridge Thompson, cum laude. Catherine Elaine Thornton. Ford Hamby Thrift. Ethan Oliver Todd, cum laude. Ryan Edward Traylor, in absentia. Cameron Marielle Union, magna cum laude. Carolyn Connor Vetter, cum laude. Christopher James Visage. Mackenzie Brian Walker. Chadwick Mays Walton. Margaret Louise Watson. Amandalyn Claire Webb, cum laude. Jordan Daniel West. Jared Arthur Wilkin. Bernard Williams. Lee Mabry Williams. Thomas Marion Willingham IV. Taylor Stephen Wilson. Shelby Hannah Winters. Laura Elizabeth Wood. Preston Broderick Woodson. Baron Thomas Young. William Lachcote Hart Zemp. We will now present the candidates who have earned both the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science degrees. Elizabeth Rose Anderson, magna cum laude. James Wallace Avinger. Orvini Shayna Bernardin, cum laude. Benjamin Alistair Chalmers. Wesley Allen Dillard, cum laude. Mark Stribling Ellison, Jr., cum laude. Melissa Rose Gaddy, summa cum laude. Laura Catherine Gamble. Jamie Blake Haynes. Nicholas Ash Houston. Faith Robinson Holly, summa cum laude. Katie Elizabeth Kessler, summa cum laude. Courtney Lynn King. Haley Elizabeth Lawrence, magna cum laude. Alana Adrian Lean, cum laude. Tatiana Dorotea Manitas, magna cum laude. Evelyn Shea Maris, summa cum laude. Ashley Lenora McCullough, cum laude. David McAlvin Moore, summa cum laude, in absentia. Daniel Lewis Mater, magna cum laude. Caroline Ann Odell, magna cum laude. Robert Tanner Oldham, cum laude. Sarah Ann Parker, summa cum laude. Gregory Thomas Pullen, summa cum laude. Aaron Max Ringel. Natasha Louise Rudy, summa cum laude. Jonathan Tan. Nathan Lynn Teague, cum laude. Martha Undina Tucker, summa cum laude. Rainey Elizabeth Terrell, magna cum laude. Ashley Marie Van Meter, magna cum laude. William Thomas Wilkins, cum laude. Chase Earl Wolfe. We will now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. Alexander Wellington Atkinson. Allison Aaron Alsberger. William Sawyer Bagwell. Lisa Lynn Bayard. Kayla Lee Bethay, cum laude. Peter Eugene Blosser, summa cum laude. Asantawan Ado Button. Maggie Elizabeth Bosley, magna cum laude. Amanda Marie Boyson. Baker Hayes Bragg, cum laude. Kayla Denise Branham, magna cum laude. Alexandra Minsuk Brantley. Holly Rebecca Branham, cum laude. John Joseph Brooks III. Caitlin Rebecca Brown. Caitlin Elizabeth Brown. Alyssa Jane Burkert, cum laude. Wendy Ellen Burnett. Andrew Charles Cameron. Haley Brooke Kennedy, cum laude. Julia Lake Colthan. Philip Matthew Coffey, cum laude. Hannah Teresa Comstock. Caitlin Lee Connor, magna cum laude. Megan Frances Cornell. William Robert Cornwell. Erica Lynn Cousins, summa cum laude. Katie Marie Coward. Maria Bird Davenport. Megan Michelle DeVoe. Daniel Sergey Didak, cum laude. Elora Dannon Dittmer. Rebecca Ann Dorsey, cum laude. Carly Elizabeth Egan, cum laude. Sarah Melanie Evans, magna cum laude. Rachel Carrington Finney, magna cum laude. Theodore Eugene Fort, magna cum laude. Aaron Burnett Frady. Joseph Thomas Francis III. Jeremy Tyrone Franklin. Christopher Blair Gaines, in absentia. Jonathan Tyler Gilmore, magna cum laude, in absentia. Colin James Gelball, magna cum laude. Noah Merrill Ginsburg. Tara Christine Goff, cum laude. Mary Louis Griffin. Brecken Elizabeth Harper. Edwin Colesworthy Henn. James Ross Hill. Shakira Anissa Hill, cum laude. Allie Harper Hyatt, magna cum laude. Megan Ryan Holland, cum laude. Ryan Nicholas Hurst. Paul Mark Enklin, summa cum laude. John Curtis Jackson, magna cum laude. Robert Elwin James. Elizabeth Sterling Jarrett. Zachorian Kentez Jeter. Alexandra Michelle Kachulis. Megan Elizabeth LaFramboise. Martha Jane Lamar, cum laude. Deandra Jacqueline Landa. Zachary Charles Fritz Landy. Charles Albert Lehmuller. Glenn Dwayne Lindsay II. Grace Marie Longenecker, magna cum laude. Alexander Cameron Love, in absentia. Rodrigo Miguel Perez Maceda. Samuel Pierce Maddox. Bobby Raj Malik. Taylor Killian Masters, cum laude. Thomas Stewart McCauley. Corey James McCubbin. Andrew Macon McCurry, cum laude. James David McCutcheon, Jr., cum laude. Lamont Louise McPherson, cum laude. Lillian Hahn Minor, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Monroe. Jesse Houston Morris, summa cum laude. Richard Mugabe. Reed William Mulberry. Khalix Nahimani. Christopher Seth Neely, in absentia. Jessica Pauline Newton. Christopher Michael Novak, summa cum laude. Evan Lee Orenstein, cum laude. Jan Elizabeth Patton, magna cum laude. Julia Lee Paulson, cum laude. Lindy Joy Pence, summa cum laude. Virginia Elaine Perkins, cum laude. William Seth Perry. Keller Copeland Pitts. David Carson Putnam III. Yasmin Abubakar Ramadan. Marcelo Javier Ramirez. Logan Diane Ress, cum laude. Lucille Corley Robertson. Amy Elizabeth Roper, cum laude. Philip Gervais Roper, cum laude. Heather Ann Rossi. Hannah Rose Rovin. Hillary Ann Royer. Varul Vishal Sagdeo. John Grayson Lee Sally IV, cum laude. Deep Bupap Sangani, magna cum laude. Margaret Mary Severance, magna cum laude. Jarius Michael Schumann, magna cum laude. Alvin Joseph Ciano, Jr., in absentia. Jennifer Michelle Sellers, cum laude. Caroline Rebecca Alston Sessions. Brandy Nicole Sharp. Hannah Elizabeth Shull, cum laude. Elizabeth Ashley Sidden. Kelsey Ann Smith, cum laude. Leah Denise Snipe, magna cum laude. Colby McLean Tharp. John William Thomas, summa cum laude. Stephen Chase Timmons. Holly Deanne Tobias. Ashlyn Grace Turner, summa cum laude. Megan Page Tyler. Leslie Catherine Vistel, in absentia, cum laude. Anam Haved Virani. Megan Lee Wong, cum laude. Beth Thomas Welch. Chase Stephen West, in absentia. Shaquana Berquisha West. Randall Joshua Wheeler. Thomas Earl Williams. Alexander Tate Wilson, magna cum laude, in absentia. John Kevin Wisham, Jr. Kathleen Elizabeth Woods, cum laude. James Michael Zotto, cum laude.
Will all the recipients of the bachelor degrees please stand? And please flip your tassels. Congratulations. You may sit. For all of those here today receiving degrees, our students before us, and our honorary degree recipients, let me congratulate you and offer you all the best. For those of you watching, I want you to know that this class has made this wonderful Wofford College just a little bit wealthier today, not only by virtue of entering into the family, but in other ways as well. And they've set a high standard for next year and the year beyond and the year beyond. We won't forget. Before we conclude, we have two short but important items of business. It's time for you students to recognize those around this campus who taught, shared, mentored, and guided you to this day. The faculty, staff, and coaches committed to your success at Wofford and beyond. So can I ask the faculty, staff, and coaches to please rise so the class of 2014 can thank you appropriately. And finally, to the parents, grandparents, guardians, family members, and friends who made it possible for you students to be here today, let me ask all of those to stand so that the class of 2014 may recognize you. And with that, we conclude this 160th commencement at Wofford College and invite our new graduates into the Wofford family, which is a family that has deep roots in the past and endures deep and long into the future. Immediately following this program, we will have some lemonade up in the Campus Life Commons. Finally, after a benediction by the Reverend G. Donald Barber, father of Lindell Reagan Barber of this graduating class, senior pastor of Rayburn Gap Presbyterian Church, please remain standing for the singing of one verse of the alma mater. The faculty and honorary degree recipients will recess first, followed by the alumni class of 1964, and you will be guided by the marshals. Thank you. Reverend Barber.
Wofford Class of 2014, this is not a goodbye, but it is a farewell. The Apostle Paul, in his beautiful farewell to his student Timothy, said, "I am at the point of departure." That word from which we get departure is a Greek nautical term for when a ship unties its ropes from the dock and sets sail for a new destination. Today, you begin your new journeys toward many exciting challenging and wonderful destination. Go now. In the grace and peace of God, may your work, your vocation, your calling be clearly discerned and give you joy as you serve the world's great needs. And remember, God's comfort, strength, and guidance. In your hands today, a diploma earned, a Bible given to navigate your journey. May God provide comfort in times of fear. May God strengthen you to finish the race. May God guide you and shine with untarnished honor as you serve in Jesus' name. Amen.
On the city's northern border, reared against the sky, proudly stands our alma mater as the years go by. May it ever be our watchword, conquer and prevail. Hail to thee, our alma mater, dear old Wofford, hail.
Thank you.